faithfully convey value, interpret global bestsellers. Hello, this is Sally's Book Talk. Today we're exploring the book Quirkology, which studies various bizarre phenomena in daily life. The author, Richard Wiseman, is one of the most influential and authoritative pop psychology professors globally. His research has been featured on over 150 TV programs. His psychology experiments are frequently conducted on major media like BBC with tens of thousands of participants. Additionally, he's a professional magician and best-selling author. What makes Wiseman unique is his focus on bizarre research topics. From why people believe in astrology and supernatural events to searching for the world's funniest joke, Wiseman and his colleagues investigate these peculiar phenomena with rigorous scientific methods. Their unconventional research methods are documented in this quirky psychology book. The book contains 6 chapters, documenting dozens of bizarre experiments that initially seem unrelated. However, deeper analysis reveals these experiments expose fundamental psychological truths rather than mere quirks. Let's examine representative experiments to uncover 3 psychological dimensions. First, how we perceive ourselves. Second, how we view others. Third, how we connect and influence each other. Let's begin with our first question. How do we understand ourselves? First, let's discuss an astrology-related experiment. The first experiment was conducted by psychology Professor Bertram Foer in the 1940s. He first asked students to complete a personality test. A week later, he informed students their results were ready. Each received a brief personality description and rated its accuracy from 0, completely wrong, to 5, extremely accurate. When asked to raise hands if results seemed accurate, every student raised their hand. 87% of students rated 4 or 5. Which shocked Foer as the descriptions had no connection to their actual test results. These personality descriptions were cobbled together from an astrology book. What's more crucial, every student received identical descriptions. Let's see the actual description. You need others to like and admire you. Though you have personal weaknesses, you're generally able to compensate for them. You take pride in being an independent thinker who demands satisfactory evidence before accepting others' opinions. Sometimes you're outgoing and approachable, while other times you're introverted and cautious. We often find horoscope analyses surprisingly accurate. In reality, these descriptions, like Foer's, are vague and generalized. But why do people believe them? The book doesn't explain this, but my analysis reveals a psychological motive: self-enhancement. This refers to people's tendency to perceive their self-image, attitudes, and values in flattering ways. People collect and interpret self-related information in ways that favor positive self-evaluation. Recall those personality descriptions. Most people recognize some traits, with every statement allowing positive interpretation. After all, everyone believes they have untapped potential and consider themselves independent thinkers. This explains why all students thought, "Yes, this is exactly me. Such an impressive individual." Foer's research shows astrology has deceived millions over millennia. Astrologers can make wild claims. When phrased vaguely and flatteringly, most will eagerly agree with their accuracy. Foer revealed the truth to students, but didn't conclude the experiment there. He wanted to know if students would feel their self-identity challenged after being deceived. thus denying they'd been fooled by 4. 3 weeks later, 4 falsely claimed he accidentally deleted names from rating sheets, asking students to honestly report their previous scores. Shockingly, half of the students who originally gave perfect scores now reported lower scores, insisting they'd always rated it low. It appears those easily deceived would rather self-deceive than admit their gullibility. This outcome isn't actually surprising. This relates to psychology's attribution theory. We constantly seek causes for daily events. We exhibit metaphysical bias called self-serving bias, attributing success to internal factors, ability, effort, and failure to external factors. People constantly try to create favorable impressions for positive social evaluation. Attributing failure to internal causes generates shame. To protect self-esteem and avoid shame, people choose self-flattering attributions. Thus, 4 students likely blamed their deception on having a mischievous teacher rather than their own gullibility. Now let's try a fascinating Q experiment. Follow along with my description. Lift your writing hand and use your index finger to draw capital Q on your forehead. 2 outcomes emerge. Q's tail points to your right eye. You recognize it, but others can't. Or tail points left, others recognize it immediately, while you feel awkward. This simple test measures self-monitoring ability. High self-monitors make Q visible to others, while low self-monitors naturally draw self-visible Q. What exactly is self-monitoring ability? It's the ability to adjust one's behavior based on others' actions during social interactions. High self-monitors focus on others' perceptions, excel at self-presentation and adaptability, but may manipulate how others see them. In other words, they could be expert deceivers when necessary. Low self-monitors are the opposite, less adaptable, and less concerned about their social impact. But they remain authentic and rarely lie. Now listening friends, do you know which type you are? That concludes our first section. Through these experiments, we understand people's self-enhancing tendencies in self-perception and self-serving attributions. We've also discovered how self-monitoring creates natural liars versus consistently authentic individuals. The book also documents experiments like lie detection and identifying fake smiles. These reveal how even skilled liars subconsciously distance themselves from falsehoods to maintain self-consistency. Compared to truths, lies typically lack personal feelings and details. People sometimes fake smiles, but genuine smiles activate eye muscles, making authentic joy rare. How precious true smiles are! Now, let's explore our second question. How do we perceive others? Interestingly, this serious topic begins with the joke experiment. This became a historic experiment. Richard Wiseman's team spent a year collecting over 40,000 jokes worldwide to find the funniest. 350,000 participants from 70 countries rated these jokes. This largest ever experiment earned a Guinness World Record. The collected jokes from the experiment were genuinely hilarious. Exploring the psychological motives behind these jokes reveals how we sometimes perceive others in amusing ways. Let's hear some top-ranked jokes first. A grumpy teacher decided to vent on students. If you think you're stupid, stand up. After a few seconds, only one child slowly stood up. The teacher asked, "Do you think you're stupid?" "No," the child replied. "I just didn't want you standing alone." This joke shows a powerless child making an authority figure ridiculous. Next joke. A husband uses coin-a-paw-rated scale, claiming to measure luck and weight. It prints a white card. You're energetic, resourceful, an amazing person. He shouts to wife, "Hear this." The card says, "I'm wonderful." Wife nods, "And it got your weight wrong too." Clearly a mal-targeted joke revealing hidden gender competition. Only 15% women find female-targeted jokes funny vs 50% men. The global champion joke goes like this. Two hunters in forest. One collapses, breathless, with eyes glazed. The other frantically calls emergency. "My friend's dead. What should I do?" Operator. First confirm he's really dead. After silence, gunshot heard. Hunter returns. "Okay, now what?" Over 50% voters found this extremely funny. These jokes share common ground. They make readers feel superior to the depicted foolish characters. In Western culture, we often encounter jokes mocking blondes' intelligence or stereotypes about Jews and Scots being stingy. The superiority behind these jokes stems from our social identity. What exactly is social identity? Our self-concept has two dimensions: personal identity, individual traits, attitudes, and social identity, group belongingness. This definition sounds complex. Let's explain it differently. Categorizing people helps memory and quick judgments, including ourselves. For example, I'm Chinese. He's American. I'm freelance. You're office worker. We connect with specific groups to gain self-esteem. Like identifying as independent women versus labeling others as tasteless straight men. We constantly compare our groups with others. Naturally, we favor our own groups for superiority. Group membership partially defines our self-evaluation. Even with mediocre career, Ivy League alumni feel connected through we identity. This collective identity enhances self-concept. Feels wonderful. This concludes our second point. Group jokes satisfy social identity needs. Different jokes serve different groups. No universally hilarious joke exists. But joke searching reveals our perspectives, biases, and stereotypes. Now, let's explore how we connect and influence others psychologically. Living in society means our psychology and behavior get shaped by social forces, culture, and groups, leading to conformity and obedience. Victoria University of Wellington's Kimberly Wade conducted the famous Wade experiment. Wade secretly obtained childhood photos from participants' family members. Researchers fabricated hot air balloon photos using photofulp techniques. Participants underwent 3 interviews over 2 weeks. Each interview showed the fake photo with 3 real ones, encouraging detailed experience descriptions. The experiment was disguised as memory research about childhood experiences. In first interview, 1/3 participants denied the balloon ride. Researchers then asked participants to reconsider carefully. By final interview, 50% recalled the fictional event with detailed descriptions. Why are human memories so easily manipulated? Psychological suggestion makes people accept external ideas and judgments. Primitive humans survived by imitating group behaviors for protection. Authority figures using photo evidence made participants accept false memories. People subconsciously fill memory gaps with imagination. Over time, reality and fiction become indistinguishable. Richard Wiseman and Andy Nyman conducted spiritualism experiments. They used a damp Victorian-style underground prison for paranormal investigations. The dimly lit prison had Andy acting as medium, arranging participants around a large table. He claimed Victorian-era singer Mary Ambrose was murdered here, with frequent ghost sightings. All objects were coated with glossy paint for visibility during the staged seance. Hands joined, candles blown out. Andy summoned non-existent spirits in darkness. Participants saw floating red handballs and rolling sand bells, classic 19th century tricks. Reactions varied: stunned silence, screams, trembling fear. Andy asked fictional ghost Mary to move the heavy table. Though stationary, Andy verbally suggested table levitation. 2 weeks later, 1/3 participants reported seeing the table float in questionnaires. This experiment demonstrates authority and cultural influence on behavior. When others scream and tremble, maintaining composure becomes difficult. This psychological phenomenon is called conformity. Clear conformity patterns emerged during the experiment. Spiritual believers showed greater susceptibility than skeptics. More believers reported table movement compared to non-believers. These experiments reveal our deep social connections and cultural influences. We easily accept authority suggestions and obey instructions. Group pressure can alter personal beliefs and behaviors. Next, experiments explore how we influence each other. Psychologists examined helping behavior through helper-helpee interactions. First experiment conducted by Peter Suffield at Rutgers University, 1971. Over 200,000 Americans gathered in Washington to protest President Nixon's stance on Vietnam. An actor grew long hair and beard to pose as peaceful protester among demonstrators. He then feigned physical distress. Protesters offered help, some giving money for transportation, others driving him home. Even those without money cars offered to walk 10 kilometers home with him. Next day, same actor appeared, clean-shaven, with pro-Nixon sign, among protesters. When feigning illness again, protesters showed less willingness to help. Why? He was now perceived as belonging to opposing camp. Social psychology shows people tend to help those similar to themselves. Similar age, background, or shared attitudes increase helping behavior. This makes evolutionary sense. Similar appearing individuals likely share genetic or tribal connections. Thus, more deserving of kindness. Attractive individuals receive more assistance. Research shows men show stronger helping tendency toward women than vice versa. Women's helping behavior remains gender neutral. Thus, heroes remain vulnerable to beauty's influence. What other factors influence helping behavior? Cal State's Robert Levine assessed global helping tendencies. Researchers placed, stamped, addressed envelopes on random car windshields with handwritten notes. Note read, "Found this near your car," measuring how many would mail them. Experimenters dropped pens before random pedestrians to count retrieval rates. Researchers faked leg braces to struggle picking up magazines. Observing assistance frequency. Researchers visited 23 national capitals, dropping 800 envelopes, 400 plus pens, and using fake leg braces 500 plus times. Amusingly challenging across cultures. Some countries lack mailboxes, while Tel Aviv residents avoid suspicious packages fearing bombs. In San Salvador, people suspected envelope scams, similar to situations in China. Despite challenges, researchers persisted and created global helping behavior rankings. Rio de Janeiro and San Jose topped the list. Singapore, New York City, K-Clue ranked lowest. 95% helped in San Jose, vs 28% in New York City when retrieving magazines. Analysis revealed higher population density correlates with reduced helping behavior. Urban overload hypothesis explains this phenomenon. City dwellers experience neural overload from constant stimuli, developing self-protective habits. This creates metropolitan isolation and emotional detachment. Fast-paced cities. I needs another tatis I eats time pray. However, city size isn't the complete explanation. Bystander effect significantly impacts helping behavior. More witnesses decrease individual intervention probability. Why? Responsibility diffuses among crowd members. Shared responsibility reduces individual action, while others' inaction influences perception. If others remain passive, individuals often misinterpret situation urgency. People sometimes hesitate to help due to social evaluation concerns. Key situational factors affecting helping behavior. The book includes supplementary experiments. Studies show people tip more on sunny days. Good moods increase helpfulness and kindness. Those sharing humorous gains perceive others as closer and more attractive. Single listeners. Does this give you dating inspiration? Our third conclusion. As social animals, we're influenced by group, power, authority, and culture, often submitting to collective will. We help similar others, but remain passive due to urban pace or bystander effect. Let's recap the book's key insights. First, people self-enhance during self-perception and make self-serving attributions. Self-monitoring creates natural liars versus authentic individuals. Second, social identity drives group alignment. It provides self-esteem and shapes our perspectives on others. We enjoy feeling superior. Our humor preferences reveal hidden biases and stereotypes. Third, constant influence from group authority and shared culture. We readily accept and obey authority suggestions. Group pressure can override personal beliefs, forcing conformity. Helping behavior experiments reveal principles like aiding similar others. More bystanders paradoxically reduce helping likelihood. Urban residents prioritize self-preservation over small-town altruism due to information overload. The book contains many fascinating experiments. For over a century, eccentric psychologists have spent countless hours reviewing millions of death records. They secretly observe behaviors and expressions in supermarkets and bowling alleys. They electrocuted murderers' corpses and deliberately blocked traffic at intersections, receiving honks and curses. Through these ingenious methods, they study people like us to reveal unnoticed psychological secrets in daily life, making us realize for the first time how fascinating our ordinary lives truly are. This concludes our discussion of quirky psychology. Find keynotes below the audio. See you tomorrow.